Hey there internets, I'm Michael and this is Toucan Play That Game, bringing you another edition of Game Night in Review where I talk about the games me and others have been playing at game night. Now this is another special Game Night in Review because it is devoted purely to Arcadia Quest, because yesterday me and my friends had a day playing several scenarios. We got through 3 in the end of Arcadia Quest. Now, I have already talked about Arcadia Quest in a previous Game Night in Review, and I will put the link to that video in the description. And the previous session was the start of the campaign where we drafted all our heroes and we had our first game, and the winner of that session was me, yay! And so I picked the scenario that we played for the first session that we did yesterday. So just as a reminder, the guilds that we have, the blue guild is me, and that's the Mage Blast guild. We then also have as the orange guild the Fiery Death Gang, and then the green guild is the Blondie Rangers, and the red guild is For Fox's Sake. So that's the guilds we have in play. The scenario that we were playing first up was the Moon Gate. So the object of the Moon Gate, we had obviously the quests to kill each other, and then the PvE or player vs environment quests were to kill orc captains or to open the gates. So the game started out with me going first as the winner of the previous scenario, and so the first round just kind of saw a few goblins being killed with people, coming out of their starting areas. For Fox's Sake did make a daring early move on the Blondie Rangers. Diva attacked, I think it was Greensleeves, I think it was Greensleeves. So that was a very early aggressive move. And then following on from that, I then had Seth, the hero killer himself, come out of the start area and blow up Scarlet. She was just dead. So yeah, that was a bit mean of me, just straight out the bat, bang, Scarlet, you're dead. But I got such payoff, I was sat there, 5 gold already, second turn in, so good. I was kind of asking to be beaten up after that, and that is exactly what happened, because following on from that, Grom from the same guild as Scarlet then came over to get revenge against Seth, and following that, Diva, smelling the blood in the water from Seth being wounded, came over and tried to kill him. But he hanged in there. He was doing all right. He survived that. Then I made a bad decision on my next turn. I really did. I should have attacked someone, but I was like looking at people's equipment, and it was like, okay, so Diva can't attack me this turn. You're going to need to rest before Diva can attack. You're going to need to rest before Grom can attack. The only other one likely to come attack is the one who only has a slingshot, which is a rubbish weapon. You're probably just going to rest. You're not going to bring that out and attack me with that. So I'll rest ahead of time so that I'm prepared for when you're prepared and I can get the jump on you. So I rested rather than pushing the attack. I didn't really need to rest. I had plenty of attacks left. And then, yeah, Wisp came along with a slingshot and killed Seth. He was like, no, my best laid plans. So that was kind of a shame. And it was my own fault. I made a bad decision. And obviously, dice can go any way you want. 2 attack dice against 3 defense dice, and still, that's what happened. So then, following on from that, Chaz then attacked Diva, managed to daze her but not kill her. So he then ran away through a portal. We saw Scarlet come back from the Fiery Death Gang, then resting. Otherwise, don't think a lot happened. Oh, Diva, despite being dazed, took on an orc, which worked out fine, just blew the orc away basically using, I can't remember, Wind Blast I think it's called, but basically just had a spell, went boom, knocked him 3 spaces away so he couldn't attack back, so that worked fine, and cleared the portal to try and get to the objectives. And then, yeah, so that was that round. Then following off from that, Chaz then came back round to try and finish off Diva, and I think, did he manage it? Yeah, he managed it, I think. Or did he fail? Oh, I can't remember. I think he failed again. I think he came back round, attacked her, but didn't kill her, which was a shame. And then what was after that? What else was going on? There was other people kind of taking out goblins and bits, I think, just clearing the way a bit. And then I think I rested and got Seth back, which is great. It's always good to have Seth out. At the very least, he intimidates the other players. You know, everyone's like, oh, Seth, he's going to come after me. Which is kind of fun. It's a bit mean, but it's kind of fun. It's a bit of a mean game at times. And so, yeah, while that was all going on, the Blondie Rangers and the Fiery Death Gang kind of hit each other in the bottleneck trying to get to the quest. So there was a bit of them killing off orcs and then bashing heads together. So there was a bit of a battle going on there. And then I rested and managed to kill off Diva, and the Fiery Death Gang managed to get rid of the Blondie Rangers out the way and clear the objective. So this was the open the gate objective, was just clear, and it's like Fiery Death Gang was the person after me, so I was like, oh no, 2 more people have a chance to run in there. Except for they both rested, and I was like, yeah. So I just had Chaz run in and complete that objective. And that then ended the scenario. So I won the scenario again. I think I had the most money as well. And of course I got the title for doing that, which was Guardian of the Gate. So yeah, I was the Guardian of the Gate, which unfortunately I didn't get to take any advantage of that in any of the scenarios we've played yet. But I'm picking the next scenario. So I think I'm going to pick one for... It'll be scenario 5. It'll be the one before we go into the temple. So I'll pick one that I think I'll get some benefit from. That was the first scenario. That was the Moon Gate. So lots of fun there. And then we then played the next one again. I was picking, and I just decided to go for the other easy one that we hadn't already played, because we hadn't planned to play more than one scenario. We'd invited them round to play, and then, you know, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, once we'd drafted equipment, and I find it so difficult and have so much analysis paralysis. You know, that whole I don't know what to do when it comes to the drafting of equipment. But I do love it. I do love doing that. I just love the choices and the decisions. So I think it was like 2 hours including that. And everyone was like, let's play another one. Okay, this is one of my favourite games ever. I'm not going to say no to playing another one. So we then picked the other one, but because we had played one, I was like, okay, let's go for the other easy one. It might be a bit quicker. I don't want it to be too hard for us. The next one we did was the Bright Sun Arena. I set my guild up to be a little nicer this time, a little less confrontational than I had been in the Moongate scenario, where I'd kind of set out to be, I'm going to kill people, which is a part of the game. You do have to do that. This time I was more focused on just trying to get the reward for doing the King of the Arena quest. So that was my focus. And I was just going to go, right, everyone's setting up to go over here, and, you know, I'm just going to go after this one token, you know, leave everyone else be, I just want to get the reward, and then we'll worry about other people. So, the game started out with, like, me and For Fox's Sake, just kind of coming out and killing the things. We were kind of opposite each other where we were going. So we both came out, killed a goblin type thing. Fiery Death Gang leapt straight after Borora with, like, I can't believe it. It was just like, out, attack Borora. He just charged back, of course, because he has 2 movement. So it was, yep, I'm going to do an attack, do a little bit of damage on Borora, and then Borora charged back and splatted them. So that was not a great turn. I mean, it wasn't bad. It got a bit of damage, and it actually ruined for Fox's sake's plans, because he had planned on the on Borora staying in the centre there. I really like the kind of cross setup that the Bright Sun Arena has with the racing into the middle. It's just so variable, because you can either all suddenly just come out in the same places and fight in those little nodules on the end, or you can all come out in your separate ones and fight into the centre to be the first to do that. So I find that really not good map, really, for the game. And as I say, so yeah, Fiery Death Gang got splatted, and then Blondie decided, yeah, that's a good idea, I'll do the same thing. So the Blondie Rangers, you know, came out and attacked Borora. Now, of course, Borora attacked back, but they actually survived, so lucky them. So then, as I was having Chaz clear out the Orc from my goal of King of the Arena, the quest token there, unfortunately, Diva decided to come up behind Chaz, splat him in a single hit, and get the quest token. So obviously it doesn't take it away, but it meant that Diva finished on that quest token. It was like, oh thanks, I just did all the hard work for you, and then you killed me to boot. But that's the nature of the game, fair enough. Based on that, it was, right, my new goal, revenge. I will get Diva. Which I did do eventually, so that was good. But yeah, I mean, I was rolling so badly. I think that's why Chaz got splatted in one hit, because I think I had 4 defense dice on him. And just kept, this entire game, for this one game, so obviously we did 3 games in the session, I just rolled blanks on every single defense dice I rolled. Didn't get anything other than a blank on a defense dice the entire game. And like, even at the end, we were like, let's just see. Roll defense dice. And I rolled maybe 10, 15 defense die. Still all blank. But yeah, so I had a bad session, let's put it that way. So unlucky. And it's going to go that way in this game sometimes. No matter how good your planning or strategy, those dice can kill you. Either way, you know, you could be rolling a single dice, just get crit, 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 and kill the hardest thing there is instantly. And I kind of like that. While that was all going on, the Fiery Death Gang finished off Borora, so that was good for them. That was the first completed quest, I think, other than the first PvE quest completed, because obviously the Fiery Death Gang had completed one by killing me, but that meant they gained a load of money, because it was like 3 coins for killing Borora, then 1 for the quest, so they were rolling in the money at that point. Great start, you know, a couple turns in. And unfortunately they did get splatted again by Borora, but still they killed him. Oh no, they didn't get splatted by Borora. They survived Borora, which was great for them, but then the Blondie Rangers splatted them, so that started a bit of a feud going there. So as I say, I was focusing on getting revenge at this point for Fox's sake, and just kind of bouncing round the portals to where Fox's sake were clearing them out and getting the quest tokens. So they were up to like 2, I think they were up to 2 and trying to get their 3rd. And I finally got Diva killed. And I just kept on with trying to kill them, because while I'd been doing that, the Fiery Death Gang had positioned themselves in one of the token things, blocked the portal with 2 people, 1 person on the token. They had such a strong position there. Anyone trying to get there, it would have been so hard to kill off enough people to get through. So they did that really well. And they just sat there for like 5 turns, ticking up the tokens on the quest. And yeah, they completed that quest. So they'd then done both the PvE quests. So that's a big achievement. I mean, most games of this, the majority of quests you complete tend to be the killing heroes ones because they're easier. So doing both the PvE, impressive. So then, of course, they came out to try and kill someone. And the person they focused on was the Blondie Rangers, who I think had already been hurt a bit by For Fox's Sake. Basically, everyone had kind of just left the Fiery Death Gang be because it was like, well, we're not getting you out there. We'll just focus, see if we can do the other bits. And then we'll try and get you out there once you come out. So they came out and they went after Blondie Rangers, and I think it was, who was it? It was Wisp attacked Greensleeves trying to kill him, but didn't manage to. So had a wounded Greensleeves, practically dead. I think he was also dazed. You had Wisp, who was slightly wounded, I think, but not badly. And so it got round to my turn, and it was like, right, what can I do? Because the next person's turn was going to be the Fiery Death Gang to stop them just taking out Greensleeves. And the only thing I could think was for me to put my wounded Chaz in and try and take out both Wisp and Greensleeves in one go. Because Chaz had cleave, so he could target multiple people. So I went for it. But as I said, I was rolling badly. And I think I failed to do a single wound. I think I got no hits or one hit. And they just all defended. No, I think I got 0 hits because Greensleeves had no defence. That's how badly I was rolling. It was like, I come in and I do nothing. And then, just to rub salt in the wound, rather than Wisps killing Greensleeves to end the game, Greensleeves, who had no defence die and was the easy target, by the way, Wisp attacked Chaz. Okay, Chaz was wounded. He only needed 1 wound. Greensleeves only needed 1 wound and had no defence dice. Chaz had 2 defence dice. So I had a chance of surviving, but I rolled all blanks. And so Chaz died, and that ended that game. So the winner there was the Fiery Death Gang. They'd managed to do 2 PvE and 1 PvP by killing me. But it was good fun, good fun. So yeah, and then least deaths was the Blondie Rangers. I think they had least deaths. I think they only had 1. Most coins was me again. I seem to be pretty good at managing to get some coins one way or another, either if it's killing monsters, doing the quests, or managing to get exploration tokens. I think in that game, it was just kind of luck that where I had this vendetta against For Fox's Sake, I think I managed to kill 2 of their people in total in the end. And each time I killed one of them, I got an exploration token of treasure. And I hadn't been trying to get those, I just happened to get them. And I managed to, when resting, move them into the right place so that I kept them till the end of the game. And then the Fiery Death Gang also got the reward I wanted, which was a lovely little shield, I think, that means you can exhaust the hero to instantly resurrect someone. So really useful, especially in a 4-player game, because I think the more players you have, the more you die, really. But yeah, so that was the Bright Sun Arena, and then the Fiery Death Gang chose the University Plaza as our first Inner Circle one, which is a big map. It barely fitted on the table with 4 players. Going into this, I wanted the reward more than anything else, because the reward for this was the Tome of Enlightenment, and it is super powerful, especially if you're a magic heavy user, which obviously my guild is because I've got Seth and Maya. So what this does is it gives you 2 rerolls. That's great on its own, but then it also gives you 2 additional slots for magic items. That is huge. I really, really wanted that. But to get that, I would have had to kill either the Troll or the Minotaur, which are in the centre of the plaza. So my plan, work towards the centre of the plaza, get that reward. Don't care what else happens in the game, that is my goal. Unfortunately, the majority of the other players had the same opinion. All except the Blondie Rangers. So while everyone else was kind of carving their way in towards the plaza, you know, so first turn taking out one, then the next kind of blockage towards getting there. The Blondie Rangers were deciding to just go after the exploration tokens. So they were going for the Find the Tomes, which would give you the title. Now, I'd kind of wasn't worried about the title. I was more interested in this reward, as I say. And she just went, right, well, the nearest exploration token's here, so I'll go kill this orc and pick that up. Oh, look, she got the first token straight away. Really lucky. Very dubious because she's the one who put out the exploration tokens. And it gets even more dubious because then on her next turn, she came over to my area and killed the orc guarding an exploration token and took that token. And that was the second one. So this was a bit, hang on. First exploration token you pick up, second one? But anyway, you know, coincidences do happen. So everyone was fine about that. But what really annoyed me, so everyone else, so you had the Fiery Death Gang and Fox's Sake killing stuff, including Fiery Death Gang having a great start, even managed to kill off their beastman that was blocking their way, which is difficult. They're pretty hard creatures. But this then meant before I got my second turn, spawning happened. And I'd been like going, oh, I really wish the beastman spawns back over by Fiery Death Gang, you know, because they're jumping into the lead type thing. And then everyone was like, oh, that's mean, that's unfair, you know. And then the spawning happened. And you know where it spawned? My area. So I then had 2 beastmen in my path, not to mention an extra goblin. And everyone was like, that's what you get for wishing it on someone else. And it's like, well, kind of right, I suppose, but they are in the lead. Nothing spawned over there. They've got a clear path in. Anyway, so yeah, they pretty much had a clear path in to go after that rule, to try and kill one of these guys. And they had Wisp, so they had a really good chance of doing it. Because obviously Wisp can get places pretty nice and easily. So my path was pretty much blocked. But the Blondie Rangers had, I can't remember if it was Johan or Greensleeves. I think it was Greensleeves. Over in my area, holding... no, they hadn't picked one up, sorry. They'd killed the orc. They hadn't picked up the second one. They'd killed the orc ready. But they were holding the first one. So they were there, holding a quest token, and there was an exploration token just there. My way was blocked, so my other option was to go that way. So I did. So Seth went along, picked up the exploration token, and that was one of them. So I had one, Blondie Rangers had one. If I could kill the Blondie Rangers, I get the other one. And so, of course, Seth attacked the Blondie Rangers. And being Seth, the hero killer, he killed them. And that meant I had completed that quest. Hadn't even intended to, hadn't been trying to. It actually meant I completed 2 quests. Because it meant I had killed a Blondie Ranger, so that's a PvP one, and I'd got the one for the PvE. Not to mention that meant I got the title, which I'm sure I'll make use of in the final scenario. So then, yeah, that was pretty good. That was like, wow, I just completed 2 quests and I hadn't even intended to. But I haven't got that reward, and I'm still unlikely to get that reward, which is really frustrating. So we had another turn, you know, Fiery Death Gang getting ever closer to getting in and getting that reward. And for Fox's Sake, we're still focused also on trying to get into the plaza. And I think Blondie Rangers just rested. I think they just kind of wanted to kill me was their goal. And then what happened next? I think in the end came back round to me again and it was like, right, well, I've got 2 quests, I only need 1 more, and it can be of PvP. The For Fox's Sake guild had been butchered by trying to kill their beastmen. Like, everyone was just dazed, on the floor, wounds. And it was like, well, I could just teleport over there and take out one of them, and then that's the end of the game. Or I could just drag it out, trying to get that reward, which I really want. but more than likely I was so far away from getting that reward, other people would have just got it first or killed me trying to get it. So in the end, I killed a member of the Fiery Death Gang, and that ended this scenario. So I won the scenario though, so that's a good thing. So I'll be picking the next one. Least deaths was the Fiery Death Gang. They did really well on deaths. Again, I managed most coins. I think it was a really low coin game because obviously people had only gained a few coins for killing the odd creature here or there. I think I had 9 and I had the most. Fiery Death Gang, I think, had quite a few because they'd killed a beastman. So I think they had like 6. And then Blondie Rangers and for Fox's Sake had like 2 or 3 each. So that was really harsh when it came to then, of course, the drafting and buying of equipment at the end. But yeah, so that was the games played yesterday. You should have coming up right about now just some images of where the guilds now stand at the end of the 3rd scenario we did. So that was the 4th in the campaign. We're going to have one more in the inner circle, and then it will be the Temple of Dawning Twilight, I think it's called. So the final scenario anyway. But yeah, I love this game. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you like this game. If you do like the game, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next installments about this campaign going on, so that you can follow and see who's going to win overall and kill Lord Fang. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, do also subscribe to the channel, watch the other videos on the channel, share the channel with your friends and family. Also, do check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.